The next story I would like to introduce you to is the story of an unmentored life. Though Joseph was not entirely unmentored because he was born into a family of a strong father figure who was faithful to the Lord. But he was unmentored in the sense that he was more favored than mentored. He did learn from the traditions of his Israelite culture, and he received the one God teachings. But he was privileged and he was singled out for being favored. Spoiled, privileged, arrogant, and he provoked his brother's jealousy. If he would have been mentored, he would have been mentored to hold back on that one. When his brothers were about to kill him, the Lord has saved him and put him into the pit where he learned humility. Then the Lord has removed him from the pit only to put him into slavery to others, and where he learned service under leadership. From slavery, he was by false accusations put into the prison only to learn leadership. And then he was elevated by God's timing, by the use of his talents into ultimate power, where he had to confront his path and forgive others who hurt him on the way there. He ended his life with faithfulness and in glory with a godly legacy. That's what we see here. His faithfulness throughout his life in the time of hardship and arduous challenges, he managed to overcome, and he finished it up with as much love for the Father as he started. His relationship with the Father has never, ever faltered. In the case of King Solomon, we see something else though, because he was born into sin by his mother and father of King David, and raised by royal excellence and the vision for his future as of leadership. We can see that reflected in the book of Proverbs. What an incredibly structured traditional education he had received based on wisdom. He led an extremely successful life and spent the last days of his father's life and the last few weeks of the father's life in mentorship by David. If you were mentored by David and had a wisdom-based education to raise you, no wonder that you end up being extremely successful. But his heart was also given over to the one God and his personal relationship with him. His humility and his prayers for wisdom, putting emphasis on what really mattered, is that made him exceedingly successful, even the richest man on earth ever seen. It has been estimated that his wealth would be over $300 billion today. But that supersedes any of the rich men alive even today. His success in leadership was based on principles like creating peace within his country and around his country, giving work to the people who live there and to the neighboring countries, traded the neighbors and their skills and goods, allowed traveling across the country and it boomed, built a temple to God. He lived a righteous life, even though he had many wives, and eventually he fell into sin with Queen Sheba, the sin of idolatry, and had a disgraceful end as a leader. God forgave him because of his repentance and the relationship and the attitude that he cultivated toward the Father. But his fame and his relationship with the Father has not left without marks.